We are now entering into the segment of the glimpses of the glorious past on the 21st of April. So, all of us should be knowing about the segment where we see about the tyaga and sacrifice of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism over the years. And we are now seeing in first hand how the great nation, the first nation, the only Hindu nation of Sri Kailasa, was evolved and built from scratch. So we are now entering into the 21st of April 2002. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted yet another weekend meeting offering the Ananda Spurana Convention, attended by a large group of delegates, this time in Yerkad, Salem, South India. The convention happened at the Glass House. In this, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the science of seven chakras, seven energy centers in our body, which are responsible for our physical, mental, and spiritual well being. Through all the instances of this flagship convention in the early years, millions have participated worldwide through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's worldwide world tours and within India. And this time too, delegates had a profound experience and breakthrough in their fundamental cognitions towards life, moving to a conflict free, peaceful, harmonious, energetic, and blissful life. These photographs are from the day two of the convention on the 21st of April. We next move on to the 21st of April 2005. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism uncovered some truths on the depth of our relationships and the ways in which we can deepen them with those around us. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism went on to describe the various levels of connection and we can also reach with the divine and shares some anecdotes and teachings on the importance of understanding how to live to our full potential. Let us now hear the excerpts from this beautiful satsang.
On behalf of Nithyananda Foundation, I welcome you all to tonight's discourse. The topic of the discourse is Master the Zen State. In this discourse, the Master, Paramahansa Sri Nithyananda, will speak about who is a master, what are the different multitudes in which the master works, the relationship of a master with the seekers, with the disciples. Swamiji, as we call him, always comes up with very interesting titles that he gives discourses on. However, there is only one message. The message is to live our potential, be blissful. With this, I would hand it over to Swamiji. This is going to be a very enlightening speech, lecture, and it's going to be amusing too. Swamiji.
Brahmanandam Paramasugatam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvaditam Gaganasadrisam Tattvamasyaadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Welcome you all with my love and respects. Master, the sense stick. Let me first explain what I mean by the word sense stick. Sense stick is the stick used by the Zen masters to awaken the disciples. It is used with a lot of love and care, used only towards the disciples who are very close and intimate, not on anybody and everybody. If it is on anybody and everybody, it is just danda. When it is used only towards the close disciples, it is yoga danda. The sense stick is yoga danda. The stick used towards the close disciples to awaken them. And I tell you one important thing. The greatest relationship, not only in this world, in any possible world, or I can say in all the worlds, the whole universe, the greatest relationship is the master-disciple relationship. Somehow, in the modern day, man is missing the beauty of that relationship. Of course, now all the relationships are replaced. And practically now we don't know what is relationship. The relationship of husband and wife is now replaced. Now no more a wife is a wife, just a girlfriend. You can stay as long as you want. When you want, you can leave. Wife is just a girlfriend. Husband is just boyfriend. In Vedic system, the very idea divorce is not existing. We don't have a Sanskrit word for divorce. In Sanskrit, there is no equivalent word for divorce is available. According to Vedic system, no divorce is possible. Even the idea doesn't exist. Now, in the modern day, the more man is becoming modern, the relationships are becoming shallow. Because of the idea of this divorce, wife is no more a wife, just a girlfriend. As long as you get along, stay together. When you are not able to, say bye. The husband is no more an husband, he is a boyfriend. The relationships have become very shallow. Boyfriend or girlfriend is okay, good, but it is not deep. The things which can happen only in the deeper levels can never happen. It is just physical. When the relationships become shallow, you live, touch only the physical layers of the other beings. Not more than that. If you go back to Indian villages, and just 30-40 years ago, even your own fathers or grandfathers, if you go to their villages, you can listen the stories. The husband and wife, both of them died in the same day. You can hear this type of stories. At least one couple in every village you can hear. If you go back to your village and trace, at least you can hear one story. The elderly grandfather, he died, and the morning, evening, wife also died. see the depth of relationship. The other one feels the life is empty. What am I going to do? Enough. Of course, I'm not saying all of you should die when your husband dies. I'm not saying all of you should die when your wife dies. No. But I'm saying, see the depth of relationship which existed in the Saptapadi, in Vedic system. At the time of marriage, they take a beautiful oath or a vow, commitment to each other. The husband says, I'll be there for you till I die. And the wife says, I'll be there for you till I die. And there's one more beautiful vow. They are blessed. The husband is blessed. Let you become 11th child of your wife. The wife is blessed. Let you become the 11th. Let you become a mother of your wife in the 11th year. The wife is supposed to become mother. The husband is supposed to become a child. And really, when a deep relationship happens, when the souls are touched, the relationship enters into a different level. It gets matured and sees the ultimate. A woman reaches the ultimate expression when she becomes a mother. She experiences a fulfillment. She experiences fulfillment when she becomes a mother. Till she reaches the maturity of the mother, she is missing something. Only when she becomes mother in a maturity level, not simply in a physical level, a maturity level, she reaches the fulfillment. Man reaches his fulfillment when he again becomes a child. When he becomes just a simple innocent being, he achieves the fulfillment. That is why you can see all women enlightened masters, they will be expressing their motherhood. And all enlightened masters, all men enlightened masters, they will be expressing the innocence. They will be radiating the innocence. Even the title for man, when a man becomes enlightened, he is called Paramahamsa. Paramahamsa means a man who has again become a child, who has entered into the space of innocence. When woman becomes enlightened, she is addressed as a Ma, means who has become mother, Janani of the whole world, universe. The ultimate flowering happens only when you are deeply committed to the other person. Only in the depth you can flower. The real experience or the real sharing happens. You should understand this word, sharing. Actually, when you relate deeply, you don't just give, you just share. Giving means, again you are in a high pedestal and you say you are taking. The word giving has got a line of ego in it. Means you are in a high pedestal, the person who is receiving is in the lower level, you are just giving. But when a relationship happens, you neither give nor take, just you share. It is so much, it is just overflowing. You share, you open and you share. You create so much of space for yourself and for the other person. You just share your space.
We now move on to the 21st of April 2006. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continued on the series of addresses and initiations from the Shiva Sutras. Previously, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had shared that the Shiva Sutras are the unabridged version of all the spiritual philosophies. Shiva is Shiva Sutra. He is expressing his whole being. You cannot separate Shiva from the Shiva Sutras and the master from his experience. So below we can see the pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving the Shiva Sutra discourse and blessing all the delegates who attended the convention. We are now moving on to the 21st of April 2009. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism delivered his first scheduled discourse on Patanjali's Yoga Sutra at the Sri Radha Krishna Temple in Houston, Texas. He commented on the 17th Patanjali Yoga Sutra. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expressed deep gratitude for his upbringing in a small Indian village, temple village, where his inner space was not corrupted and the Vitarka was able to flower. He narrated the beautiful incident from his biography. He said that the right reasoning helped him to connect very deeply to the Ganapati idol as pure energy, in so much that Ganapati was alive in front of him and ate the food he offered. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism declared this incident as his first experience of Samprajnata Samadhi. Let us now hear the experience from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself.
I went to one satsang. That teacher, Acharya, who was talking, he was narrating an incident from a saint's life. His name is Nambiyandar Nambi. He was born and brought up in South India. Great saint. His life story that master was describing. It's a very beautiful story. That his father used to worship in one Ganesha temple every day. One day the father fell sick. Then he asked the son, please you go on, do the worship. Then son goes with the food and all the worship articles. He does the sacred bath and does all the things and puts the food in front of Ganesha. And the son thinks really Ganesha will eat every day. He is doing first time. So he thinks Ganesha is supposed to eat. And he is sitting, waiting for Ganesha to eat. Half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, food is there. And this guy started worrying. What happened? Did I do anything wrong? You are not eating. And he started talking. Of course, no response. Then he started telling, if you don't eat, if I go back, my father may fire me. He may shout at me. Please do something. If I have done some mistakes, forgive me. Please eat. Of course, Ganesha is very silent. If they start eating, who will put the food in front of them? Anyhow, he was silent. Then he became very serious. The Nambiyandar Nambi, the saint, he became very serious. He said, no, you have to eat. Please eat. Otherwise, see the Shraddha, beautifully the Upanishad says, Kathopanishad says, Shraddha Vivecha. When he is describing about Nachiketa, a Upanishadic hero, they use the word Shraddha Vivecha. He was possessed by Shraddha. Sometime, rarely this happens to even you. You can see, some very difficult time, suddenly you decide, I'll be very straight and honest and dharmic. I'll not bend. You know, if you little adjust, tell one lie, or alter the word, you can escape from the situation. It can be eased, but suddenly sometime you feel, no, I'm going to be very straight. Come whatever may. Those few moments, you are possessed by Shraddha, the truth. Shraddha Vivecha, a very powerful word. Possessed by Shraddha, truth, trust. That Shraddha Vivecha happened to this Nambi Andar Nambi. Suddenly he felt Ganesha has to eat. He has to eat. He starts weeping. He says, till you eat, I am not going to leave this place. 5-6 hours over, but food is there, Ganesha is sitting. Then he goes to the extreme, suicidal threat. He says, I'll hit my head in these steps and die if you don't eat. And starts hitting his head. Of course, don't try. Don't try. The TV, in the motor ads, the car ads, they say, closed lanes and professional drivers, don't try. Same way, saints tried, you don't try. When that Shraddha Vivecha happens, you are in a different plane. Even the doubt does not exist. He just knows that Ganesha is going to eat. He started hitting his head, and the story says, suddenly Ganesha appeared and ate the food and blessed him. When that saint, that small boy, he goes back to his father. Father asks, what happened? Where is the food? He said, Ganesha ate. Father could not believe. Ganesha ate or did you eat? He said, no, Ganesha ate. If you want, come. I'll show you. Then he takes the father. There, the father sees the mouth of Ganesha, the food, the remains. The story says, father fell at the feet of the son, said, all these years, I was only doing it as a ritual. You made it as reality. You made it as truth. When I heard this story, suddenly I decided, I'll also feed Ganesha. That Shraddha Vivecha happened. Means possessed by that Shraddha. Strong. See, when you are possessed by Shraddha, you will not have Kudarka at all. Understand? You will not have Kudarka. You may ask me, why? When you heard the story of Nambi Andar Nambi, you tried, but you are telling us not to try. See, in my case, there was no Kudarka at all. If there is no Kudarka, you are also a professional. You can try. But you see inside, one corner of you, there is a Kudarka. That's why I am saying, till that Kudarka disappears, don't try. Especially these risky techniques. I decided, I'll also make Ganesha eat. Let me tell you what all the mistakes I did and how I had this Kudarka. See, when I heard the story, I decided, I will also make my Ganesha eat. This is Darka, simple logic. When he made Ganesha to eat, why not me? Simple Darka. The next step, what I did, see, in my house, it's a giant family. I had one old lady, one of my grandmothers. Means, it's like many people will be staying, you don't know who is who and who is what. And not only that, 3-4 streets are relatives. That's the way the Indian communities will live. That 3-4 street will be your cousin, cousin brother, nephew, name it, and they will be there. And they will marry just inside the family and relatives. So, this old lady, if the kids are not eating, she will always threaten them. Hey, I will put you inside the well. The center of the house, there will be a huge well. I will put you inside the well. She will shout. So I heard only that logic. So naturally, what will I do? I went and put a little food in front of Ganesha and told him, eat now.
When I saw half an hour he did not eat, I started using the same thing. Hey, I'll put you in the well. Kudarka, please understand. Because I heard only that. See, this satsangi, the teacher, he taught me darka. This environment, this old lady, she taught me kudarka. The same way, I started shouting. I told, she will use all the old Tamil words to threaten. I started using all those words. Better you eat now, or you are going to be in the well. And Ganesha was there silently. I decided, I am going to put him in the well. And usually what she does, I have seen, she will take the kid in the hand and take little food in the other hand, and she will show the well. See, I will drop you. These kids will shout, cry. They will open the mouth. She will put the food inside. When the kids start crying, they will actually open the mouth. She will put the food inside. Then it will go. That's the way she will feed. I decided I will also do the same thing with Ganapati, with that Ganesha. I took the Ganesha in one hand and food in the other hand. I showed the well. Hey, see the well. I'll throw you inside. And he's not opening the mouth. I tried 2-3 times. Then I decided there used to be a vessel in which they will take the water from the well. I put the Ganesha in that vessel. I started lowering, threatening him. See, I'll really drown you. I'll really drown you. And when the vessel was about to touch the water level, suddenly I realized, maybe now he would have changed the mind and he wants to eat, but there is no food in the vessel. So I brought him out, put the food also in the vessel, and started doing again. And it was almost in the water level, that vessel. That bucket is in the water level, but nothing is happening. I did not have the mind to really put the Ganesha into the water also. It was too much. He really means a lot for me. And it's a very strong relationship. So I can only threaten. I cannot put him in the well, actually. So what to do? Finally, I took him out. I said, all right, maybe he did not like the cooking. He did not like the food. See how the Kudarka works. Kudarka says everything is wrong except you. Understand? That is the Kudarka. Kudarka means everything is wrong except you. Then I started thinking the food is not right. My mother is not cooking properly. I went to the temple. The temple, they offer food to the deities. I thought that food is eaten by deities every day. So I went to the cook, the temple cook. I used to do a lot of voluntary work. Even as a young boy, I'll go to the temple and wash the vessels, clean the floor. All the kids, that is the only entertainment. That's the only entertainment, and I used to do a lot of that kind of work. So I asked that cook, will you give me a little food for my Ganesha? So he said, what little food? Have more. He gave one big lot. I brought it to the house and said, see, I brought the same diet which you are eating in the temple every day. Now there is no reason, no excuse. Come on, eat. And I was sitting. Maybe 3-4 hours. He was not eating. I said, now right diet I brought, I am not going to let you today. So again I put him in that bucket and started the same drama. And then actually, by then I memorized all the abusive words my grandmother tells to make a child eat. All those words like a sloka I memorized and started repeating. I really thought that those words are very powerful. They will make him eat. And all the techniques I tried with my whole diet. I tried everything step by step with this new diet. And I put him in the bucket and again started drowning, almost in the water level. So from here I started shouting. I even started asking, are you listening to what I am saying? Whether the sound is audible. Of course, he was not eating. But I could not drown him because it's a very strong relationship, very loving relationship. So what to do? I took him out. I can say I was really depressed, very worried, and very strong depression, completely low mood. Just I was sitting, what to do? Practically I fixed all the problems, whatever I am supposed to do. See, if my grandmother does all these things to any child, the child eats. And I know only those techniques. I don't know any other techniques. I have not read any book how to feed Ganapati or how to feed kids. Whatever manual was there in front of me, that whole thing I worked. Nothing works. Nothing is working. So I was sitting. The Ganapati was lying there. So I was sitting. One nice thing with Shraddha, trust is, even if you start with Kudarka, the power of trust is such, the power of Shraddha is such, it turns the whole thing to Vidarka. Please understand.
We are now moving on to the 21st of April 2011. On that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the 151st Sutra of the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, in which Patanjali gave a technique for materialization. In these profound Akashic revelations and initiations from the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared all 5 major samyamas on falling tune with the 5 elements. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that the space inside the Samana Mudra acts like a mother's womb. Only then the object can materialize in your hands. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said that today I will materialize through many people's hands. On that day, a lot of Padukas also materialized Kumkum, Meenakshi's presence. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained to the delegates that all of them are alive inside their skin only, but in the case of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, he is alive wherever he wants. We next move on to the 21st of April 2012. In that day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave answers to the questions of the Inner Awakening participants. The first questioner stated that she feels connected to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's formlessness, but does not know how to connect with his form. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism replied that the form is merely part of the formlessness, so there is no need to get concerned with details. The second question addressed how to be unattached within while engaged in external activity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave an exquisite description of the unclutching process by explaining that conflict is simply too many thoughts trying to connect at the same time. Unclutching provides space between the thoughts, so we have less conflict. The third questioner wanted to know how breathing can be balanced during unclutching without causing gasping. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that the flow of prana balances the breathing during unclutching. Question 4 asks how to know whether one is disciple or devotee. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism responds that the degree of feeling connection determines the difference. The fifth question is about love. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said there is no such thing as love, and as long as we cling to believing in it, we evade enlightenment. The final question asks whether energy fields such as Kailasa can occur naturally or whether they must be created. The answer is both. An energy field is most likely to be created in an area where the natural energy is already high. We now move on to the 21st of April 2013. In that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presided over the celebrations of the Meenakshi Brahmotsavam Day 7 by organizing the Meenakshi Pattabhishekam. Additionally, on that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the Nityananda Yoga convention for the lakhs of delegates who came to be at his feet. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted various sessions for the benefit of the delegates, aiming at giving the maximum result in this tight-packed convention. That day's convention ended with a grand Kalpataru darshan that was filled with the grace and splendor of the greatest happening of our time, the Paramavatara, the ultimate incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where he blessed one by one of the lakhs of delegates who attended that day's convention. We now move into the year 21st of April 2014. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism spoke about the tradition of yatras and going to the energy fields that give strength to the people. He followed this with a question and answer session for people preparing to come to the inner awakening, in which he shed light on people's incompletions about poverty. He finished off with Dail the Avatar, answering more devotees' questions. We now enter the year 2015 on the 21st of April. In that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presided over the flag hoisting celebrations for the start of the Meenakshi Brahmotsavam. Additionally, on that day, the devotees from the Bangalore Sangha honored the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for all the boons and healing that he had bestowed upon them with a beautiful jeweled crown. Let us now see the various happenings of the 21st of April 2015.
I know Swamiji for last 8 years now, and I don't know how to describe him. He has been a guru or my ultimate God or a friend or a guide or anybody, name a relationship that he is for us. Not only for me, he has been everything even for my whole family. I have 2 daughters who are now, my elder one is studying in dental, second daughter is now going to first PUC, and since and my husband also working in a corporate. As usual, now we are all in the society only living around the society, around the same problems what society faces, even my children, my husband, all of us face. But still, we don't even feel that there is a problem for us to face. So life is so beautiful, everything is happening so fantastically around us. I can vouch and say that wherever my children are, they cannot be, taken away by any of the wrong values in youngsters how the society is offering, and sometimes they are taken away by some wrong values of the society. So that is where we are so blessed to have Swamiji in our life. My husband was a diabetic actually. He was a diabetic for almost 10 years, he was a diabetic. So after that, when Swamiji started giving kriyas for various ailments, like everything, even name it from even dandruff to hair fall, Swamiji has given kriyas. So the day when he gave the cure for diabetes kriya, he has been following very sincerely, he started doing it. Then later, after maybe a few months, I can say 4 or 5 months sincerely he followed, then he did this Nirahara Samyama, where it requires fasting. So then only he came to know as a diabetic he could fast for 9 days together. Then only for himself he was confirmed that he is no more a diabetic. You want any solution from anywhere for any of this health, wealth or financial issues or anything for that matter, he is there to guide us and take you through so beautifully. So that is how it has made such a huge difference having Swamiji in our life. We are so thankful and so blessed to have him as a guru or the ultimate God, what we respect him to be, what we worship him to be. It is so beautiful to have him in our lives.
What is the difference between unconditional love and unconditional?
Unconditional love is like something which you are having, like without keeping yourself in the front, you are like seeing everyone else, and you are constantly in the space of enriching. But what I understand as uncompromised love is like how Swamiji tells the story of the lion and the cub. See, showing who you are to yourself is what I understand as uncompromised love. The love which the lion showed to the cub, like how Swamiji describes in the story, a cub was deluded that it is a sheep, and then the lion had to come and show that the cub is actually a lion like him. So that is actually what I understand as uncompromised love, because the lion had to show what the cub is. So in that, the lion showed the cub with like the uncompromised love. But unconditional love is something which you show without keeping yourself in the front and from the space of enriching constantly.
Even having love hypocritically means deciding for life.
Like many people will come to Swamiji out of some expectation. Like, okay, if I smile at him, and if I come to darshan regularly, he'll heal me or he'll give me things. So when you though it will start out of that selfish love, at one point of time you'll realize that asking all this is not the purpose of you being here with the master. Just you are here to just enjoy his leela and just become part of him. And when that love still keeps on flowing, at one point of time you'll understand that there's no difference between you and the master. You are him. So there will be no you and me. It'll be just like you, me with the master. So and then when you are in that space, you'll realize that everything is you and you are everything, and you'll have the same overflowing love towards the whole existence itself.
And actually, when we started drawing the Sri Yantra, that's when we realized, how much of a geometrical intricacy the whole structure is laid out in. And that kind of baffled me for the first time, because I've heard Swamiji before saying he had the vision of, Sri Yantra when he was, 8-9 years of age, and he was actually carved it in a copper sheet. And I've even seen the picture of the copper sheet. Now, when we are actually drawing it on the ground, that's when I'm baffled by the intricacies, the geometrical, subtleties that make up this complex geometrical object, the Sri Yantra. And only somebody like Swamiji could have even grasped it at such an young age. And just from the vision, he was able to reproduce it in the copper sheet. And this Sri Yantra, which is a representation of the Mahadeva's inner space, is going to be used in the Shivoham process. All of us are going to be sitting on the lines of the Sri Yantra with the sound, intense sound created through the sound and the lines. Swamiji is awakening the Kula Kundalini and giving us the experience of Shivoham. Come to Varanasi, experience Shivoham, and live like Shiva for the rest of your life.
We now enter into the 21st of April 2016. On that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presided over the Living Shuddha Advaitam Convention in the Ujjain Adhinam as part of the most auspicious and holiest event of Kumbh Mela. The Kumbh Mela has been inscribed on the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity by the Intergovernmental Committee for the Safeguarding of Intangible Culture Heritage under UNESCO. Let us now see the various happenings of the 21st of April 2016.
Mahamandaleshwar Abhedananda Ji of Mahanirvani Akara visits Nithyananda Pita Ujjaini Adinam. The introduction to Shuddhadvaitam program is going on with so much excitement and enthusiasm as participants are introduced to the most sacred practice they can do at Kumbh Mela, Seva, being in service to others. The largest camp at Kumbh Mela 2016 is quickly becoming a beautiful temple, welcoming visitors from around the world. After completely mesmerizing Ujjain and the Peshwai procession, Paramahamsa Shri Nithyananda visited the 4 major temples in Ujjain to pay his respects to the powerful deities gracing this city. First, Swamiji went to the Kala Bhairava temple, then to Gadkalika temple, followed by Har Siddhi Devi temple, and finally the most famous Jyotirlinga of Mahakaleshwar. Everywhere, he directly performed puja and arati to the sacred deities and energized the atmosphere. He was instantly recognized by the people at the temples and attracted a huge crowd of admirers and new devotees thronging for his darshan. Paramahamsa Nithyananda, who is the charismatic world leader of Hinduism, has brought more than 2,000 people from more than 40 countries and 108 beautiful, large-sized Panchaloha deities to Ujjain to participate in the Kumbh Mela. After seeing his smile and his appearance, I cannot forget him, said a famous journalist from Ujjain. Paramahamsa Nithyananda will be staying till the 24th of May, conducting a powerful program called Shuddhadvaitam, where he is going to give mystical powers, also called siddhis, to all the participants. As such, Paramahamsa Nithyananda is well known for his ability to awaken the Kundalini Shakti and enable powers such as the ability to read through the third eye while blindfolded into thousands of people. The Kumbh Mela and Ujjain waits eagerly with excitement for these new powers to unfold. Kumbh Cello.
I'm Alfredo from Mexico City, and this is Rossi. We work together. We sell insurance, life insurance. And the story is very funny because 2 weeks ago exactly, Rossi came to me. I'm her boss, and she wanted to come here, and she wanted to quit her job. I said, congratulations for taking the decision of your life, and you know what, I would like to go. So I decided to come here and also take my life to the next level. So we're experiencing a great time here at the camp, and we've been learning a lot. It's been hard sometimes, but I think the learning is beginning since the day we began the decision to come. About the parade on Monday, it was very beautiful. We enjoyed a lot the people of Ujjain. Everyone was very happy about Nithyananda and with us, and we felt all the love of the city. So it's been a great time. So thank you.
So let's get ready to celebrate, make it happen, make all your physiological, psychological, neurological ups and downs redundant. Make your identity redundant. That is identity completion. That is enlightenment. Let's get ready to celebrate.
May 4th to May 24th, 2016, Ujjain.
We are now moving on to the 21st of April 2017. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the Day 2 of the Inner Awakening Convention in Adi Kailasa, Bengaluru Adhinam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained how our body chemicals pervert our will and jeopardize our life goals. This is the definition of delusion. Only when we understand the power of delusion, we can get liberated. Let us now see an excerpt from the satsang.
Whenever your will is perverted by your own body chemicals and loses its goal, does something which is against your own goal, jeopardizing your own interests, that is what I call delusion. Only when you are liberated you can understand delusion. Understand your will overpowered by the chemicals and hormones of your body, and your will losing its focus on purpose and jeopardizing your own purpose. You know it is going to jeopardize your existence, but you just do it. Compulsive behavior pattern. How many of you understand what I am saying? That is what I call delusion. The effect of delusion on your body is this compulsive behavior pattern. Person or the society which does not understand the power of delusion never gets liberated. You need to understand the power of delusion. Only then you can get liberated. Understand? Whenever chemicals and hormones of your own body taking over your will, and your will does the actions by getting into delusion which jeopardizes your own planned future or cherished future, desired future, is delusion.
We are now moving on to the 21st of April 2018. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the Day 21 of the Paramashivoham program at the Bengaluru Adhinam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the cosmic principles of mind and consciousness during the Nithyananda Satsang. In this talk entitled Why Working on the Mind is a Waste of Time, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained how his superconsciousness connects with us. Further expanding on how to break addiction and shared a powerful cognition. During the Mahasadashivoham, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism answered questions of the delegates about power manifestation, yoga, and multi-universes. Further expanding on ferociousness, completion, and sannyas. Delegates also received Vishesha Diksha and darshan from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Pujas were offered to the Swayambhu Linga.
The software with which you were operating and the electricity, these two is completely screwed up. That is when the hardware also started getting destroyed. I am doing two things. One, again and again putting the powerful software. See, every powerful cognition I am giving you. When I say this static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence is one and the same. And immediately, till you get into your old stupid screwed software, you will not have doubt. For a few minutes, because of my face value, I think this fellow must be telling only for my good. Some reason, it will be there as alive memory. Those few minutes when you decide to use that as your software, my superconsciousness, my electricity connects with you. Not the regular electricity with which you are working, bioenergy. No, Sadashiva's bioenergy, who gave me the experience and authority to transmit this experience. His bioenergy just enters into you. Once you start seeing that moving, you will feel, oh God, I think this fellow is right. Once 21 times you move, then this software cannot be taken out of your software. How many of you are understanding what I am saying? Understand? That's all is the whole game. It's all, see, the whole program is nothing but, I want to give you some 60, 70 powerful cognitions. You are the consciousness, you cannot be killed. See, all the books Hinduism has 2 crore source books. All of you need to know. Hinduism has 2 crore source books. Hinduism has 2 crore source books. The whole 2 crore source book. And we have more than 1 crore temples. And almost billion followers. And at least I can say 10 million enlightened beings have lived on the planet Earth because of Hinduism. People who become enlightened because of Hinduism. And the chain is still alive, a living stream of Hinduism. Essence of all this is the 70 powerful cognitions. That's all. Once the 70 powerful cognition starts operating in you, you are the consciousness.